From Washington, this is VOA News. Coming up, first ever arms treaty plus no space for Syrian refugees in Iraq. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Norman reporting. The UN General Assembly has overwhelmingly approved the first treaty on global arms trade aimed at keeping weapons away from terrorists and war criminals. Daryl Kimball, head of the Arms Control Association, an independent research firm, says the treaty is a landmark test.
It's historic in the sense that it is the first time that there will be international standards to guide how countries authorize weapons transfers, and the first time that there will be annual reporting on those transfers by all of the state signatories of the new arms trade treaty.
154 UN members voted for the treaty. Iran, North Korea, and Syria voted no. 23 countries abstained. North Korea says it's restarting operations at a shuttered plutonium nuclear reactor and hinted at further enrichment of uranium, adding to already heightened tensions on the Korean peninsula. South Korea's foreign ministry called the latest move highly regrettable. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said the United States will defend itself and its ally, South Korea, against military threats from North Korea, and says Washington will not accept North Korea as a nuclear state. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon fears North Korea is on a collision course with the international community.
It is also my responsibility to state that the current crisis has already gone too far. Nuclear threats are not a game. Aggressive rhetoric and military posturing only result in counteractions and fuel fear and instability.
Secretary General says he's convinced no one intends to attack North Korea and that negotiations are the only way to resolve the crisis. Cypriot Finance Minister Michalis Saras has resigned as a judicial panel prepares to investigate the role that he and others played in the financial crisis that pushed Cyprus to the brink of bankruptcy. Saras previously served as chairman of Cyprus's second-largest lender, Laiki Bank, whose risky investments led to its breakup last month under the terms of the $13 billion international bailout. Political scientist Antonis Salinas predicts the Cypriot economy will only worsen.
The social impact is likely to be huge. So unemployment is now 15%, and it's still it's already one of the highest in the Eurozone countries. So it's the fourth highest, and it's probably going to go through the roof in the next few years. This is going to have a huge social impact. People will be left not just without jobs, but without any prospects of having an income.
On Tuesday, the Cyprus Central Bank took a step to ease financial pain of Cypriots, partially relaxing transition controls aimed at preventing a massive flight of money from the banking system. UN Refugee Agency reporting Iraq is facing an acute shortage of land where it can accommodate the large numbers of Syrian refugees fleeing into the country. Lisa Schlein has details.
With the Syrian conflict in its third year, the number of Syrians being killed, wounded, or displaced is growing. And the UN Refugee Agency reports Syrians are fleeing in ever-increasing numbers into neighboring countries. This, says the UNHCR, is putting a strain on these countries' capacity to accommodate the refugees and care for them. The agency says it is particularly concerned at the situation in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. UN refugee spokesman Adrian Edwards says refugees are arriving there at the rate of 800 to 900 people a day. This, he says, is double the rate of just 3 months ago. Lisa Schlein for VOA News, Geneva.
Authorities in Sudan have freed 7 political prisoners a day after Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir ordered the release of all political detainees. 6 men and only 1 woman were released Tuesday from Kober prison in Khartoum. They are all members of the country's main political opposition alliance. They have been held since January after signing a document in Uganda that calls for the overthrow of President Bashir. And U.S. immigration officials say the 65,000 visa limit for highly skilled foreign workers could be reached by the end of the week. More news at voanews.com.